Hi. Sorry, I gotta get situated and turn the lights on here. This used to be a bedroom and like the bed would have been here. And so there's like a light over this side and a light over this side to like, they could read. But I also forget to turn them on because it's like not the same switch. So hello, hello. All right, we'll just wait a couple minutes, give people time to join in. Bentley the Bulldog is watching as well. You guys are not gonna believe. I'll just show you one little clip of Bulldogs because you guys follow me, so you know Otis is just he's just something else. I sent this to Andy earlier, but I'll send you the last little clip, or I'll show you. So I always play this like hide and seek game from Otis where like I like come and I can hear him come and I like get against the wall or like I try to hide from him. I don't know why, it's just entertaining to me. So I was gonna film it to post it, but then this happened and I was like, oh, I don't want to post that. Nothing bad, but so I'm hiding. So this is like 3 slides long, but this is the last one. Whoops. He's literally looking for me, or he doesn't even see him there. And he starts shitting on our fucking carpet in our master bedroom. And I'm going, Otis, you fucking dick. So that was my day. All right. All right, guys. And if you guys have a question, if you've never used Zoom before, if this is your first time, if you scroll to the bottom, you'll see like the Q&A there. That if you click that, you can ask a question because at the end of this, I will go through there and read some questions. And then I've got a couple that you guys also emailed in when you registered that I'll read those as well. And then the chat button that you see, that's just like an ongoing chat. So you guys can like, you know, say something in the moment, or you can talk to each other, make new friends. Sorry, I look a little blah. I've been kind of sick the last couple days. So a little down, turn my light on a little bit more, maybe make me look not so terrible. Chevy, sit on the couch. Dude, what is it with dogs? Okay, all right, let's get going, guys. It is 7:02, so this will be about 30 minutes long, give or take a little bit. And then I'll go through questions and we'll be out of here and by probably 7:45. So, okay, thank you, Shar. You are so sweet. Shar became one of my new best friends at an event I met her at in Ohio and spoke, and she has an awesome Facebook page, and she refurbishes like all old furniture and stuff. She's absolutely phenomenal. So, okay, notes out in the gym. Sam, that would be you. Okay, all right, guys, so quick refresher. I know so I've done several of these kind of webinars before and also YouTube videos, but we'll just do a quick little refresher for the people that might be new to the whole planning world, and then move on from there. So planning basics, how I do it. People ask like, well, how do you plan? Not everybody's, the way they plan is not going to be structured for everyone and how everyone is going to like to do it. So I'm going to share with you what I have found to be beneficial for me with trying to run my businesses, run Andy's brand and the Arte brand, and then also run our household because I am like a traditional old school housewife. You know, I cook 2 or 3 dinners every night. You know, I clean during the week, things like that. I do have maids that come every week or every other week just to kind of help get the main stuff, but, you know, doing laundry and things like that. You know, I like to still be able to do that. So the way I do it is, you guys know, I'm going to show you, I'm not selling you guys my planners tonight. That's not why this is happening, but I'm going to show you like on the lines how I do it. Also, those of you that did get planners that have asked, I actually got an email 2 days ago from the printer, and the print, they were supposed to ship out November 25th on or before. Well, he said they're getting loaded on the truck from the manufacturer on the 14th, then they're headed my way. So I'm hoping I'll have them by maybe like the 20th and be able to get them out earlier. So far so good. It's looking like it's going to be earlier than that date. So I'm super excited because I think in the 14th, probably 3 days maximum shipping. And then it'll probably take me, you know, a little bit. I'm going to have my assistant come over and we're going to get them all packed up and get them shipped out. So anyway, that was exciting. I wanted to share that. So, okay, let's see here. I love all the Bulldog mamas. Okay. So the way that I plan my day is I always go through and I plan out the things that are like non-negotiable, what I have those days. And that's what I call my priorities. You guys are probably familiar with my priorities, needs, and wants list that I've always made. I go through, I write down what I have to do on Sunday night for the whole week. What do I have to do? Meetings, appointments, taking the dogs to the groomers, you know, those kind of things that are non-negotiable. You know, for you guys, like, you know, if you're working in the office, it's going to work, it's picking your kids up, it's your kids' gymnastics, things like that. What is a non-negotiable as your priority? What do you need to do? Do you need to pick up your dry cleaner? You need to go by the bank and make a deposit? Those kind of things that you need to get done, but it's not a specific day. You just got to make sure you get it done that week. And then your wants are something that are not a absolute necessity, but something you would like to get done. Like, is it maybe organize your pantry? Is it maybe go on a Costco run? Little things like that you want to do. That's what your wants are. So I go through and I always add in look at this, I broke my nail. My nails are real and I slammed in the door. So now I have a little stubby. All right. So I go through and I plan out my day. I immediately, on Sunday night, I write that out. I go through my week and I write down exactly what I have. And the big thing is make sure you guys allow enough time, because everything can look like a dream on paper. You have all your lines filled, it's perfect. But the reality of that is, because I've lived this, it is a grueling nightmare when you pack your schedule that full, because you are literally not even leaving any room for drive time, for incidentals. If something happens, if someone's running late, you got to stop for gas. I've done that where I just felt like I've shared before, like I suffered from major superwoman syndrome. Like I can just be all things to everybody and be everywhere. Like I was like, I don't know, like teleporting myself to different areas and not having to necessarily like drive there. And I was running myself ragged and I was running late and I hated it because I don't want to be disrespectful to people's time. So I go through and I plan all my priorities for the week, through that whole week, using my list. I go through then and I plan my needs for that week, what I have time in the day. So if this is a one-day deal, I would have my priorities planned for that day. I would put my needs in. If I had any time left for anything that I wanted to do, I would add that in. Easy, right? Okay, and that includes I put my workouts in there. I put out anything extra that isn't an ordinary, like wake up, shower, get dressed, put your makeup on type of stuff. Because that way I know exactly what my day's gonna hold and nothing is going to be a surprise to me. And then also, because the reason I like to do that is be so meticulous with that is because then you can also know what you're going to be doing like the week ahead of time. So let's say like right now, if today's day, I have to, because today I posted a Fresh Time thing I'm doing for like an influencer campaign with them. So I had to post on Fresh Time. Well, I had to create that content, a couple days ago and to submit it to them for approval. And then I had to post. So that way I can always like go back and like backtrack my goals. So let's say for next week, if I have to make a post, which I don't, but let's say I have to, I know like, okay, I needed to post on X day. Well, then I would backtrack that for my week and I could write in there, shoot the recipe for Fresh Time, go back a couple days, buy the ingredients for Fresh Time, do things like that. That's really important for me now that I've got a different website up and running, that the blog is going to be more continuous of new content and new things like recipes, tricks, lifestyle, all that kind of stuff. I'm really like getting back into it again because I've been kind of dormant for actually a couple of years while the new website was being built. Well, the new website that was being built is actually what I've done in the 2 years. It's going to outgrow what was being built. So now we have to start over and rebuild that. So we built a temporary site to feed that. So it's really important to be able to keep yourself back on track with that. So with the priorities, needs, and wants, you don't have to have a special notepad for it. I create that just because I like it. You guys know I love paper, but you can just write on the back of a receipt, back of an envelope, junk mail, wherever you want to have it is totally fine. You don't need a special notepad for it. But reason it's nice to have two lists going. I like to have one every week on Sunday, but then you can also have one for your bigger goals or for your house projects, things like that aren't necessarily going to happen that week, but just like an ongoing list of things that need to get done. So a priority for us is in our bathroom, we have to get our thresholds redone because when they put our tile in, it didn't match anymore. So priority for that is getting the flooring company back out here to build these thresholds for the tile. I know that sounds like silly, like not a priority, but it's just like, it's the last thing we need that are going to have people in our house that we're like redoing stuff on. I want to get it in and nobody has to be in our house anymore. And then like wants is I need to reorganize, my linen closet that I wanted to do. I bought like some containers to make it look all cute and stuff, but it can be anything like that you have for like getting ready for the holidays. If you need to buy extra containers, just all those things are like an ongoing list that you don't want to forget about. You can add it to that priorities, needs, and wants list because a priority for that would be holiday stuff. Are you going to be entertaining for the holidays? Have an ongoing list for that. It doesn't really affect your weekly planning, but it keeps it on top of mind of what needs to happen. So thank you so much. I'm glad you like the office. Okay. So when everything is a priority, how do you tackle it? That's a big, big thing because I feel like probably 75% of you on here are women. And I feel like we always want to everything is urgent, everything you want to get done at one time. You just want to knock it out. So when everything is priority, what do? This is where you need to make 2 different lists of what it is and classify those, because you need to classify it, divide it, and then you conquer it. So when you are creating your list of all your priorities that you have to do, every single thing truly does need to be done at the same time. You need to classify those by, okay, well, my kid has a dance recital, so I got to get that outfit ordered or made or whatever you're doing with that. And then I've got to get this done. You have, let's say 5 projects. First, just take a deep breath, write those all down. What actually is going to, one, take the longest that you need to jump on first? If you're going to have someone, I have no idea where I'm getting these examples, custom make your kid's dance recital costume, then that's something that's going to take more time. So that's something, yes, I need to do that now and get it done. Okay, then what's next after that? Well, I need to arrange to have someone come in and do a big cleaning before I have these Christmas parties or something like that. So that's something you need to get on the books as well. So you need to be able to classify those projects first, divide them up. If it's work you have to do, figure out what's going to take the most work and do that first. I have this thing on my desk. You guys may have seen me post it. It says, do first what you don't want to do most. Can you guys see that? I know it's probably backwards, but it's so true, because some days I come to my office and I'm like, oh, like you guys can't see it, but I have like 5, 6 stacks of paper around here with just like different projects. And I just look at it, I just feel defeated like every day. And like, you guys are so sweet on Instagram. Like, oh, you do all this, how do you do this? I'm like, look, I am 0% better than anybody else at this. I've just found systems and strategies that have worked for me to keep a flow going and keep my sanity. So don't ever think that I have this all figured out, because nobody does. If they tell you they do, they're a total liar. But I look at that and I look at that little sign, because I got it on one of my stationery kits, and I'm like, okay, what do I hate most in all of this stack? And I've been doing, I do that. And that's something that is a huge relief for me, because then I know in the morning, the hardest part of my day is totally over. It's done. And everything else from there is just, easy work that I know how to do, or it's not going to be as time consuming. So hang on, I want to catch up with these and make sure I don't miss out on anything here. Yeah, paper planners do rule. I think when you are planning, you do have papers everywhere. So classify it, divide it, and then conquer it, because then you can work that into your weekly schedule of things that you need to get done. So you're never feeling like this constant, I know for me personally, just being completely honest, is when I feel like I have so much stuff going on, I get anxiety over it. Like, I just feel like there's this weight on my shoulders. And no matter what it is, because I have so much, I immediately think I've got to get it all done, and it all becomes a priority to me. So it's really, really hard, for me to have to not have control of that. I have to be able to have structure, because if I've shared before on several occasions, is structure is what equals freedom. People, they tease me that I'm OCD, or that I like to plan so much. I have to, otherwise I'll forget things. And I feel this anxiety, this weight on me that I'm not gonna be able to get everything done, and that people are gonna be waiting for me. And I hate that feeling. So in order for me to tackle that, this is the approach and the systems that I do to make life a hell of a lot easier for me. And I have a lot more freedom to do extra things, because I know that the things that I have to get done are scheduled. They are booked. They are on paper. I don't have to worry about keeping my brain anymore. I'm not going to forget it. So I highly, highly encourage you, whether you don't like paper planners, if you want to do electronic planner, whatever you want to do, getting some sort of a system in place with your life really is beneficial, and it does help to get your shit together. So let's see here. Let me read this question here. Okay, no. So she asked, did you say multiple lists of priority needs and wants? Are they totally different than what the Sunday list is? No. So my Sunday list, I do write on this, but then the other list that I was just saying is ongoing house stuff that really doesn't have to get done that week. It's just something you might think of that you want to get done in the future. And that could be something you wanted to, shop for new furniture or something like that. Shop for a table for here, because I know because we're moving in, I'm finding little spaces oh, we need a little table here. We need a little tray over here, or whatever it is. But I don't want to get online and do it then, but I don't want to forget that I, had saw that and wanted to get that. So I'll make it a separate list. And it's kind of one of those things where if I'm just on my phone, I can just kind of shop online. It's priorities needs and wants list, but it's page 2. It's not really important for that week. It's just stuff that you want to get around to, but you just don't want to forget it. Because I don't like to do that, because I was keeping a list in my notebook of reminders, or I'm sorry, in my phone reminders, but I hate having it on my phone, because I think the reason I'm obsessed with paper is because one time I flushed my phone in the toilet and I lost everything. So I'm terrified that like that would happen if I kept everything on my phone. So let's see here. Yeah, I have a whiteboard as well. It's actually over in the corner over there that I like to plan out my work actually with. Let's see here. Yeah, I make a list of work and home to-dos as well. So that is what I do like to do, how I kind of just explained it. But for my weekly priorities, needs, and wants, what actually gets written in my planner is everything. So that will be all my work. And then if I need to do home things too, like I even write in my planner, water the plants on every Thursday, because I'll forget. We have all these plants around our house now that inside that we didn't really have at our old house. And I'll just kind of forget, or I'll be like, when's the last time I watered them? Because I can't quite remember. So I'll write down to water the plants. I'll write down, like if we're having guests in town for the weekend, I'll write down on Friday or Thursday or whatever, the day before they get here, because I always like wash the sheets before they get here so they still like smell good, when I go to bed. I'll write wash the sheets. I write all that kind of stuff down just because I know that it's something that I have to get done, and I don't want to, one, be up later than I have to be, or be totally frazzled and in a panic because I'm just like freaking myself out. One thing that I started doing years ago that has helped a ton, that I've talked about a couple of years ago, I think I actually maybe the very first one I ever did, like a planning one. And I actually accidentally got away from it when we moved in for probably about 3 or 4 months, because it was really crazy trying to move in. We hosted 4 really big parties with a couple hundred people at each party. And it was just like, I had no downtime like whatsoever, but I started doing it a couple weeks ago. You guys may have remembered like my dungeon days. Like I was like, Thursdays were my day where I didn't go anywhere except the gym. And then I just locked myself in my office. And granted, if you work in an office and things, this isn't possible, but it's great to have days on a weekend day if you can. And then you get all the stuff done that you need to catch up on. So if you are an entrepreneur at home, people always think working from home is like this great luxury, which yes, it is, but it's really, really hard, and you have to get really, really good at time management because it's so easy to get distracted. When I work, I don't have the dogs up here with me at all. I keep them downstairs. They're in their room or in their kennels, because there'll be a distraction to me while I'm trying to work. Or I got the washing machine, buzzing, and I go change the wash, and I'm putting the laundry away, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh crap, what was I working on? Oh crap, I gotta get back in there. So you gotta really work on structure. So Thursdays became a day for me where I was able to conquer every single thing that I had that maybe I missed out on earlier in the week that I didn't get done, or I could get ahead for the next week as well. So, even if you can only block a couple hours like that, it is so key. And I turn my phone on do not disturb, and I just work. And it's been absolutely hugely, hugely beneficial for me. Let's see here. Yeah, dungeon days, it's true. Like you kind of do feel like you're in a dungeon. Okay, how do I deal with something comes up that's unplanned to keep your schedule manageable? Okay, if something comes up unplanned, I can usually make some pretty good tweaks, because I don't book any meetings or calls until the afternoons. My mornings are always my time. I like slow mornings and fast afternoons and evenings, because we usually don't go to bed till about 2 or 3 in the morning. Don't get up till like 8:30 or 9. Just like our time that Andy and I are both on the same, we both have the same clock. So my mornings like to get up. I'll come to my office in the morning. I'll tackle a few emails or whatever I have to get done in the morning. Then I'll get the dogs ready and get them situated. I'll go to the gym, come home, shower, get ready, and then I'll leave the house for the day and do my meetings or shopping or whatever I have to do. So if I ever have something that comes up like that, I'll either scratch off my wants or my needs for that day if I was going to do something like that, or I'll cancel my meetings and reschedule them and just edit my wants or needs for like the next day or wherever I need to fit them in. I just kind of make a little edits to my schedule, and then I can fit it back in. But that's also the reason why you don't ever want to pack your schedule completely full like I used to, because then you just totally wreck yourself if something comes up. If my niece gets sick at school and her mom can't go get her, I'm her emergency contact, I have to go get her, and I'll be with her the rest of the day. So I have to really have that flexibility for those types of things like that. So let's see here. I use a pen all the time, but I love whiteout tape. So yeah, it's definitely an adjustment working from home. Okay, so let's see here. Another thing is the importance of stress management when you plan properly, because all of you guys signed up for this because it's get your shit together, right? That means everybody gets stressed out and everybody wants to do better and to have that, that more ease feeling and to feel more calm. So, something that I actually talk to with my coaching clients is they're talking about their schedules. And then I'm like, okay, well, write down what you do in a week. And I have them keep a diary of like everything. Like, I don't want to know when they go to the bathroom. I just want to know like how they're spending their time. Because a lot of times we find holes in our schedules. Actually, I'm going to get this out here. I didn't plan on showing you this, but you guys have all seen my time cube, my time management time cube. Oh, I just turned it on. You turn it on and you put it face up, and then it will turn on, and it'll, whoops, sorry, it was turned on. But you just turn it on, and then if you want to work on something for 60 minutes or 30 minutes, this is also great for your kids if they're like, you give them like iPad time before bed, you could just click it for 15 minutes, put the 15 side up, and then it beeps, and then it's done. So that's something that's really, really good for that, to be able to take control of your time. But what I ask my clients to do, and I say, write down your ideal schedule of what you want your week to look like. And this isn't like a dream schedule where you're like, oh, I'm going to the spa and I want to do this. It's really a reality of, I want to be at the gym every morning by 9 a.m. or 5 a.m. or whatever time your work schedule is. I want to be at the gym and do this. Then I want to be showered and ready for the day by 11 a.m. I want to book all my meetings and calls between 1 and 3. I want to do this. I want to start dinner at 6 p.m. That's the kind of thing that you need to do for yourself. And I highly recommend that, because what that does is it shows you what you really want to get done and what's a priority to you and what it takes to maintain your work and your lifestyle. And then you can tweak it from there. Because if you look at your ideal schedule of what reality really is, and you look at what it could be and what your reality really is to how you're working now, and you just feel like you're spinning your wheels, that's when you need to put the brakes on, chill out, and take a breather. Something that I also recommend to them when they get in this cycle is to take a closing day. And that's just like a word. I mean, I just make up these dumb words. It's a closing day where you don't do anything. You clear your schedule of every single thing and you just restructure. You spend that day restructuring what you have going on to match that ideal schedule as closely as you can. Because when you have an ideal schedule and you're able to think about that, like how you should be spending your time, that can automatically bring you some sort of relief. It's almost like putting that pen to paper is like some sort of like crazy twisted therapy of, okay, this is what it can be. This is what I need to work for. This is a goal that I have to achieve this. So I highly recommend doing that. Another thing is learn to say no. It is like the best word in the world. It can be so hard for people to learn to say no, but with that, you again have more freedom. Because something that I had to learn, because I was always like Superwoman syndrome again, I can do it all. I can help everybody. I can be there for everybody. And then what actually happened was I started feeling resent, not towards the people that I was helping or being with. It was resent that I wasn't even making time for the things that I wanted to do or for my business. And then I felt like I was constantly like just running myself ragged and, felt so stressed and like I wasn't going to be able to get my goals reached and get where I wanted to go and see my vision through because I was so busy saying yes. But by saying no, you say yes to a lot more things. So a thing that I had to start practicing when I started doing this was, okay, if it does not blank, then I'll say no. So it could be, if it doesn't feel like I want to do it, I'll say no. If it doesn't align with, my values and things, then I would say no. If it doesn't, if it's something that I was doing for work, if it wasn't going to be beneficial to my brand and, provide value, I'll say no. If it's something that maybe I didn't want to do, but I was like, I don't know, like maybe I should, maybe it would be good. I'm like, well, if it doesn't make me X amount of money, then no. And that would be like for speaking engagements and things like that if I didn't want to travel or something like that. So having your own little phrase like that and to fill in that blank with it is what's really beneficial for that. So let me see. Yeah, the Amazon Tide Cube, if you guys go to my link in my bio and just click it, shop my Amazon, it's on the Amazon. It's like $19.99. It's so awesome. It's like on 2 AAA batteries, I think. Let's see here. You guys are so funny. You guys all know that's on the Amazon thing. Hold on, let me back up here and check these here. Okay, perfect. Okay, another thing is, let's see here. Oh yeah, establish times to plan your life and not just your week. Instead of just going through your work week, plan your life. What I mean by that is, what do you want to do? What is something that a goal you want to reach? Do you want to go away on a weekend, or do you have, is it a fitness goal for you? And that's something, not just planning what your workouts are in your week, but it's planning what you're eating. Take time to write down what meals you're going to eat. All that kind of stuff like that really, accounts, because then it's not only just you getting it out, it's you put it on paper. It is you seeing it that day as a reminder to you, like, hey, remember, you wanted to do this, you better get on your shit to get this together. So, well, thank you, Melissa. I'm glad that you're here. Let's see here. Okay. Another thing is when to outsource. Outsourcing is not a luxury. It's a necessity. I outsource our grocery shopping. I'm a huge, huge advocate for Shipt. It's SHIPT. It's a grocery shopping app. I've been using it for literally years, probably 2.5 years since it came to St. Louis. And the way that works is, and you guys, I literally use this 4 or 5 times a week. It's like $49 a month membership. So it's like $4.99 a month membership. You get on there and it's like at all your major stores. Like here, it's at Deerberg's, Target, Petco, and CVS. I select what store I want to shop from. You type in what you want. You add how many you want. It's like Uber for groceries, if that makes sense. And then you can just tip the people through the app that get your groceries. So you might think, well, you're paying $4.99 a month for your membership, but then you're tipping them too. So you're maybe like in, $10, $15, maybe $20 extra if you have a really big order and you want to tip more. But the thing is, you guys, I've done this before. Like I would get groceries and it'd be $42 on the app. And I'm like, you know what? And maybe they couldn't deliver for another hour or 2 hours. I'll just go get it. So I go get it. I would spend like $30 or $40 more. So it saves you money by doing that. And then I can literally just get ready. Like tonight I had my groceries delivered while I was, blow drying my hair. It was great because like I didn't have to leave anywhere. So it's things like that. Like, what can you outsource to buy yourself more time? Because, time is money and time is value and you can't ever get that back. So if you want to be able to be home after work with your kids and to be able to spend some time with them before you got to get them ready for bed, get your groceries delivered. That way you can get them delivered. A lot of times, since it's cold out here in the Midwest now, I'll just say, can you just drop them on the porch? Because I'll be home in like 30 or 45 minutes. I'm like, can you just drop it on the porch? Because it's cold enough now. I don't have to worry about like the chicken getting warm or anything like that. And then they're like, sure. So when I get home, I can just snatch those up and I can start doing my thing. I don't have to make that extra stop. Another thing is, like, you guys know, I've done like clothing subscription boxes, like through Nordstrom's and Wantable and Stitch Fix and those kind of things. Because then it comes to me, it's $20 a month. If I keep one thing, they credit it towards whatever I want to keep. And then I send it back, whatever I don't want. You don't get charged for it. That's it. Like, it is so easy. I love it. I always end up keeping at least one thing. So that's another thing too, because plus I hate shopping. But it's things like, if you having like a house cleaner, a lot of times you can find housekeepers that, they're not that expensive, and you can have them come every other week or once a month to help you with that deep clean or things that you feel like you're just spending so much time on, to kind of help relieve a little bit of that pressure, because it's something, especially if you are someone in business and you're trying to do it all, that it can be really daunting because you are trying to balance everything in your life. And you can feel that sense of overwhelm a lot more quickly when you're trying to literally do every single thing and you're not able to pour yourself into your business or into your family as much as you could if you were able to have that little extra time. So yeah, Shipt definitely changed my life. Oh, Mary Jo, if Shipt's not there, I know, shoot, what's it? I can't think. There's another grocery app. I can't think of it right now. Hang on. Let's see here. Oh yeah, that's it. Instacart. Yeah. The subscription crates, they were great. I loved them. I stopped doing them for a while because I was getting so many, I just had too many clothes and I wasn't doing like photo shoots on the regular, because that's why I really buy them, because most of the time I just wear like workout clothes. But I need to start getting into it. So let's see here. Okay, perfect. All right. And then let's see here. Another thing, last thing is, just like I said, like, be realistic with your time and your energy, because things look good on paper, but could be a nightmare when you go in to be like active with it. So, if you guys feel that sense of overwhelm right now and you're like, I just need to get all this together, do a brain dump. This is something that I do as well. Like when I feel really overwhelmed and maybe, writing down your priorities, needs, and wants just aren't cutting it. You just got to get everything out. I have a big, huge 12 by 12 block notepad here. I've got my planners on top of it, otherwise I show you. But it's just like, I just write down everything that I need to get done. I even have a list here I use as my mouse pad. Just literally just all the stuff to get done that's going on in my brain. That's little stuff. Like if I'm working, I think about it, I just write it down. Doing a brain dump like that is a great way to get it out of your head. It immediately helps you get rid of some of that stress and anxiety. And then you can tackle that later. You can go through that brain dump list and then start to piece it together on your priorities, needs, and wants list, or however you want to do it if you don't want to do it that way. But you can start to take little bites off of that to help yourself. So Yeah, brain dumps are seriously great. So, okay, so let's go on to some questions here. I'm going to read the couple that I have 3 of them that came in through email, but then I'll go through and I see there's some questions here. So, okay, one thing is, let's see here. How do you stay on track? What's a good way to stay on top of things? I'm terrible at consistency. I tend to tackle what needs my immediate attention, so other things fall to the wayside, then pile up like our laundry. So the way I stay on top of things is exactly what I just shared with the priorities, needs, and wants. I make sure that I get it all done. I do even write laundry in there if I have like an excess amount to do. But a habit that I got into a couple of years ago is every morning I'll throw in a load of clothes, because we do 75 hard, so we both have 2 workout outfits a day pretty much, and then like our regular clothes and then whatever, pajamas or whatever. So I'll throw in a load of clothes every morning, and I actually get it in the washer the night before, and we use like the Tide Pods. If you use liquid, don't do this because you don't want the liquid setting on your clothes all night. But I put the Tide Pods in there. I put my scoop of OxyClean, I use those Downy Unstoppable, like those scent booster things. I throw all that in the washing machine the night before and it's ready. And then when I get up in the morning on my way into my office, I stop and I turn the washing machine on, and then I come to my office and I can hear the bell ring when it's done in 45 minutes or whatever. Then I go in there and switch it out. So doing a load of laundry every morning helps me a lot with keeping the laundry under control and getting it done, because it can pile up so fast. So let's see here. The color catching sheets. Let's see here. Do I schedule personal development time on your schedule? Yeah, I actually do. I read every night, or I have an app. I think it's a free app, or maybe it was like $2.99. I'm pretty sure it was free. It's called Pocket. Let me see if I can pull it up here and show you. It's like it's a white app. It's got a red little thing. Here it is. It looks, wait, hang on. This is going to be weird. Oh, darn. Hold on. I want to show you guys this. It's not going to show. Stupid. Apparently I'm new to computers. Anyway, it's called Pocket. It's like a little half circle with a white V in the center. It's definitely not going to, you can kind of see it there. Tricky. Okay, anyway, I use Pocket. So what Pocket is, if I'm reading ads online, or not ads, articles online, or if you see an article that you want to read, at the bottom, you would just hit, you could click it where you would normally click to copy the link to text to somebody. You can click it, and then you click the Pocket when that pops up, and it puts it in your Pocket app. Then you can go back later and read. So I do that every night. I go through and I read articles, and I read them about all kinds of, if I see something on Google, you open Google on your phone, it's got articles that relate to things, your searches and things like that. I go back and I read all of those, and I take notes on that as I go to keep learning like that. So that's how I do my personal development time with reading. Reading is really what I do a lot for personal development. I listen to podcasts constantly when I drive. That's really all I listen to. And then music when I work out. I can't listen to podcasts while I work out because it doesn't put me in the right zone, I need that pump up feel, so yeah, the Pocket app is awesome. So, okay. So that's how I stay on track. Next question is, do you do it all yourself or do you hire help? I have a house cleaning lady once a week, and I feel like we need her every day, not for cleaning, but keeping our house tidy. It's exhausting. So yes, as I shared, I have housekeeper, some maids, they come every week and they do the main floor and the upstairs, and the next week they do the main floor and the downstairs. That way every other week, the upstairs where our bedroom is at, and then my office and stuff gets hit. And then the following week, the basement gets done, but the main floor is done every week. But in between that, I run the vacuum a lot, almost every day, just because the dogs, not through the whole entire house, but the main, high traffic areas with the dogs. And then as far as tidying it up, that's something I do in the morning too. After I come to my office and I go downstairs and take care of the dogs, I take them out to go potty. When I bring them back in and I feed them breakfast, while they're eating and before I get ready to take them out after they eat, that's when I do a sweep through the house. It's mainly with just Andy and I here. It's just our kitchen and our living room area. We have covers on the couch, so I'll go and kind of straighten those up and straighten the pillows up. And, if there was, anything left out, shoes or something like that, I put those where they need to. So I just it's kind of a 5-minute little sweep through to tidy up everything. So let's see here. Okay, you tend to take a long time working on tasks and don't want to do that. How do I get more productive with this? Turn your phone on D&D. Do not allow distractions in there. And if you spend a lot of time working on tasks, is it because you're trying to stretch it out because you don't want to do the next task? Or is it something where you just naturally are just someone that takes longer to do things? Not for any other reason than just, that's just your nature. Like some people are naturally slow walkers, some are naturally fast walkers. The same thing can be with, you know, tackling tasks, how they do that. So it kind of depends on your personality. But if you think like you're spending too much time on it, expedite the task. What do you have to do? What can be cut out of it? It's kind of like if you guys have ever written a letter and you're like, well, I don't need to write and we can take out the, and you can kind of concise it down. Same thing with your tasks. What doesn't actually have to be done without cutting corners? You still want to do it to its, you know, fullest, but you don't want to cut corners. But there is sometimes we added a lot of extra fluff in there that we don't need to. It's kind of, and what I mean by distractions, if you're posting on social media and then all of a sudden you like post and you do your hashtags, then you go into your DMs, then you're going back, like just post it, do that, engage with people for a while, and then work on an actual real task that you have to do. Because another thing that's important is, you guys know that I always try to stay up on my DMs, but it's something where you can't treat your inbox and your DMs as a priority. I know that sounds strange, but I treat it as something that I do for like, you know, just to talk to my friends and, you know, to answer questions and things like that. Because when people are reaching out to you, and I don't mean this in any way, I'm just being completely honest with you guys. When people reach out to you, you know, a lot of times it's sweet, like especially on DMs, you know, it's kind of like just like fun and stuff, but especially through emails on your inbox, that is someone wanting your time. They want something from you usually. So if you don't have that time to give to allowing your emails in your life right then, don't answer them. There are some days where I'm just so busy with things, I won't get back to my emails, you know, for, you know, a couple days. Sometimes it's been even like 2 weeks where I'll just do exactly the ones I have to, but I don't have the energy or the time to go through and like answer or do long replies and things like that. So I wait until I'm at that place where I can do that, because you got to remember, it's your time to give people, and people are going to be constantly trying to take your time. So it's another thing with, you know, handling your shit, is learning to handle your shit before you can help others with their shit. I know that sounds so crazy, but that's just part of the deal, you guys. I hope that all makes sense for you guys. So, all right, so let's see here. Hang on, let me go back through here. That's all on that one. Let's see here. Okay. All right, next question I have is, I'm a CEO of an all-women interior design firm. My mind never shuts down. When I'm home, I'm thinking about work. When I'm at work, I'm thinking about all the stuff I need to do at home. And then the mom guilt sets in. How do you set parameters with your team that I'm available for you all, but not 24/7? Okay. Again, that's a beauty with text messages. Nothing is ever urgent. If there's an emergency, someone is calling you. Or if it's something that can, you know, you need to convey that to your team, like, hey, you know what, after we leave work, if you guys need something, just shoot me a text. I'll get to it if I have time. Because the thing is that once you start like letting them into your life all the time, it's constant, you know, and something like, you know, don't respond to everybody in your text messages right away, because you are training people that you're always readily available. And we all have our phones on us all the time. But the truth is like when have my phone on D&D, I don't see text messages, and I may not take it off of do not disturb for a couple hours. So that's something where you need to be able to set those parameters to where you are not readily available for every single person at every single moment. You need to let them know, like they have to respect your time. You know, like there's even like my sister, or like my sister-in-law, like my best friend, sometimes it'll be a day or two before we get back to each other. You know, it's usually not that bad, but it's just because we just get busy, but everybody knows that. So if there is an emergency, someone's going to call you. They're not going to text you about, you know, some sort of tragedy. They're going to call you. So don't fear that. There's also things like Slack that you can get with work. It's like basically you can have texting for work on an app, though it's not coming in through your actual phone, your iMessage or text messages through Apple. So that's another thing you can do. It's just setting that guideline, and just, you don't have to tell them like, hey, I'm not answering my text from here to here. Owning a business, you can't do that. Your mind is always going to be everywhere, but it's something where it helps you kind of reel that in, and you can answer it on your time as well. So, okay, let's see here. I'm going to Q&A now real quick here. And then let's see here. How many big tasks do I make per day? Okay, so for big tasks per day, I only will schedule 2. And like the big tasks, I mean things that are going to take, you know, 2 or more hours. I do that because I don't want to get totally drained, and I have a lot of other things to do that I need to manage during the day. So I only take 2 big tasks a day, which is 4 hours of my day. And that can be either in like meetings. Well, tomorrow actually I have 7 hours straight of interviews. I have 10 interviews I'm doing for some people that I'm hiring. So I have a lot of, those kind of things. Days like that, you just got to bite the bullet and plan a whole lot in one day. But normally I'd only allow 4 hours broke apart of big things. I literally you guys can't see it maybe. I did this. I think that's Star Wars or Star Trek. I don't remember. But anyway, so that's how I do the big tasks. I know it sounds silly. I feel like you should schedule bathroom breaks. Like drinking over a gallon of water a day, I have to pee a lot. No, just don't. Just go wherever you gotta do. Because a gallon of water a day, that could be like every 30 minutes. Let's see here. Do you review the list nightly to check on progress? Yes, I take my planner with me to my night or downstairs in our living room. And I always look through it for the day, make sure I tackle anything. If there's things on my list that day that maybe I didn't get done in my office, but I could do from my phone, like if I feel like I got a little bit extra, I went over on a project in my office, but it's something I can do at night from my couch on the phone where I can be with Andy and have the dogs, I will do that. So I take my planner with me and I do the work from there. And I also like to do that to review the next day so I'm prepped for what's coming up that next day as well. Am I going to have a planner app in the future? I don't know. I'm such a paper person. I haven't even really thought about the planner app. I'm saying probably not because I have some things working with my planner, the paper collection. So it probably won't ever be an app. It's probably going to always be old school paper. Do I do a nightly accountability to see what went right? Yeah, okay, yes. So that goes back to it to see what went well and what to change. Yeah, I always do. I kind of course correct as the day goes on too. So the nightly check-in is always good. Time Cube was Amazon. Okay, your phone's gonna die. Can you record the call? What I'm actually gonna try to do is see if I can get this call and just make it into like a YouTube video and post it like through a private link and do it that way. That would go out in the newsletter. When doing a big launch, do you plan multiple weeks in advance or one at a time? I plan multiple weeks in advance for everything that I'm doing, like stuff that if you're a business owner, you know this as far as like with marketing, you have to plan out like so many weeks early or months early. So I like to actually have it all planned out, and then I build a list as I do this. So I will plan out everything I have to do, and then I write a list of everything that has to happen for all those projects. And then I delegate those projects to who that needs to go to. If it's me, it's my assistant. If it goes to the designer, if it goes to the web, to my web guy, like who does this go to? And then basically I then email them each and will say, here's what I need done. Here are the due dates beside it. Shoot it over whenever you get it done. That way everybody has their list. I know what everybody has going on. And then I know as those weeks come up, I'm going to have everything ready and lined up. So let's see here. Okay, you feel bored at your job and lost lately. You're not sure what you want to do. You would love to start your own business, but not sure what or how to even start. Any help? Okay, that's something where you can't just start a business just because you feel like it or you might want to. You need to really make sure that's something you're passionate about because it is not going to be easy. It's going to take years to grow in most instances. It's going to take years. I actually just saw a picture the day I was going to post on Instagram. It was from just 4 years ago, before the first cookbook was out, and I was doing a bake sale outside of my gym. Like, it was just kind of like, holy cow! It felt like a decade ago, but it was only 4 years. So it's going to take years to get things going, and that was 4 years. I was already trying to build my brand 2 years prior to that as well. So that's something, and I was doing it to get my name out because it was for a charity, raising the money for the bake sale. So it's things like that. So you can't I don't want you to start in if you're not passionate about something, if you're not like 100% certain, like I want to do this because of this, like what is the result? Don't ever just start a business just to try to make money, because it's not going to come for a while. So you just need to, because it can take, like I said, a couple of years to really get things rolling. And when it gets down and you're like not making any money and you're not sure if you love this business, you're going to want to quit. So until you have something that you really love, that you really want to do, don't quit your job. Don't start, a new business until you're really, really ready. And if you have more questions about that, you can just shoot me an email. I have a tough time switching from one task to the next. I get so focused on what I'm doing that transitions are almost painful. The time cube, that is what you need, because then you set yourself a structure of, okay, I'm going to do emails for 1 hour. When that goes off, boom, it's like, whoop, emails go away. You start your next task. It's something that otherwise we just get sucked in this black hole of working on the same thing and keep digging and digging and digging. But you might have 10 holes that need dug that day, but if you keep digging the same hole, guess what? 9 holes aren't getting dug. So you have to be able to stop and start those tasks so you get everything done in a day. So get the time cube for sure. Do Andy and I have a weekly meeting to share priorities? We actually do, because we work together. We have a meeting every Monday from like 2:30 to 4 with our whole team. And that's when we touch base on everything. Priorities at home, I handle that because he's got so many things going on with businesses as well. So I just handle everything. Like if there's like home repairs, there's people come to the house, like special deliveries I got to be here for. Like I just handle all that on my own and do that for the priorities at home. But as far as work priorities and stuff, yes, we do have a meeting at Monday at our headquarters. We don't do it at home because that way we are able to separate business from our personal lives, because we are married and have a business that we're not married in business. Okay. Will you and Mindy ever have guests on your podcast? They are so fun. We might. Here's the thing. With podcasts, guess we never do over the phone ones because I hate how those sound, because I feel like you're always like, it just sounds like they're in a tunnel or something or underwater. But our podcast studio is actually being built above our garage. Now you guys have probably seen it on the stories. So it's also having people that you can trust come over, because I'm inviting them like into my home. So it was more so at our old house because it was actually in our house upstairs in a bedroom. But here it's like a detached studio. So we may, but we just, we're not really an interview show, but we do like guests when they fit the bill. So I run a waxing salon with high clientele, and I'm also a caregiver for a family member full-time. I feel like I can't get anything done no matter how much I plan. Any suggestions? Okay, that's something with one, I would like for you to email me about this, because this can be a little bit more, we can dive pretty deep in this. But with that being a full-time caregiver and then also running your salon, that's something where you need to, one, figure out what do you have to do every day for the family member. I understand it's a full-time job. But what does the family member require every single day? What does it require you to work in your business every single day? And what do you have to do to work on your business every single day? It's 3 separate categories. So you need to break those down, prioritize those as your priorities, needs, and wants for the day. That way you're able to maintain your business while still caring for your family member, because you know that I need to work on my business this day doing this. I need to work in the business from 12 to 5 this day, and then you'll be able to care for your family member in that morning and that evening as well. So how much extra time do you allow on workouts? I know it should take me 50 minutes, but do you put a cushion? Yes, I do, because if I see people at the gym and we talk, I allow for that. And I also allow in my workouts the time when I get home and either change clothes or shower. It depends on what I'm doing. If I'm staying home for the rest of the day, I'll just wait and shower like before bed. Or if I'm like super sweaty, then I will. But if I have a meeting to go to, then I allow that, like, okay, I need to come home. It's going to take me, 15 minutes to get home and 45 minutes to shower, dry my hair, and get ready to go. So I do allow, when my workouts, I allow the whole thing, the drive time, to come home, the shower, the everything. How can I include my 20-year-old son in my list when it includes him? I don't understand that. Hold on. Son in my list when it includes him. I'm not sure what that means. So if you want to ask again and clarify that, I'll answer that. Do I schedule social media time? Yes, I do actually. I like to engage on social media. Social media is really important in building your brand and your business. Even your personal brand doesn't have to be actually, even if you have a business, but your personal brand. I encourage everyone to take social media seriously, because you never know what you're going to do. Like the woman that asked earlier about she wants to start a business but not sure what. You need to start taking yourself seriously. You can start building your social media presence and your brand, because that way, whenever you do, or if you decide to start a business, you already have those people that know you, that know your personality, things like that. So it's really important to do that. I do schedule time. I go off of like my insights. If you have an Instagram business page, it tells you like what are the best times type of thing. And it's learning your page. Like I know personally, like if I put a picture, like a recipe up, then they don't do as well because people are just scrolling fast and they don't see the person that's posting it. But if I post a picture of me with something else, and they know who's posting it, so they'll slow down and look. So like it's kind of like just learning. It's like studying, that kind of thing. And I post it when it's the best time for me to engage, so I can still be present. You don't want to post and ghost is what I call it. Whenever people post a picture and they go away and they don't go back and comment, they don't like people's comments, they don't engage with people, because you need to engage, because otherwise you're being selfish with social media and you're only using it like just to put your own self out there. And I just feel like it's just weird. Like you're at wanting people to engage with you, but you can't do the same for them. So okay, let's see here. Do I schedule block your day for each particular business you are involved in? No, everything is a blend and a bleed. Like I work on every business every single day. I tried that before where this business in the morning I'll do this business at night I'll do, and it was a nightmare, because then it's like I would miss emails, or I would just like, it just wasn't good for me. Because I felt like I wasn't on top of things in the day. Because like every time I would open my email, let's say I worked on one thing on Tuesday, and the next time I was supposed to be scheduled to do that was Thursday, I felt like I was so far behind from Wednesday that it's like I was playing catch up instead of actually being productive. So I work within each business a few hours every day. Probably like yesterday, sometimes I'll have 12-hour days in my office. Some days it might only be 4 hours. It just depends kind of what I'm doing and where I'm at with things. So I find it easier to do a little bit of it every single day. If I need my son to help me with, if I need my son to help me with something on my list, how can I link him into my list? Yes, it makes sense. Okay, so if you need someone's help on that, that's something you could either just ask them, or that's where an actual electronic calendar would work if he doesn't live with you and you want him to know, or if he does live with you. Like Andy and I actually have an iCal shared calendar, because he likes digital calendars and I like paper planners. But if we have something like a family Thanksgiving, things like just whatever it might be like that, we have a shared calendar together through iCal. That when I add it, he can see it and add it to his calendar. So it's on there. He can just click OK, and then it goes on his calendar, so he sees it as well. So that's something where if your son doesn't live with you, you can definitely just do like an iCal. Or if he's there, you can ask him like, hey, I need your help Thursday at 5. Does that work? Kind of thing. So if you're in a business and feel you don't love it, but you feel it's necessary, do you keep it or toss it? Well, I mean, that depends where you're at in that. And then also, it depends where you're going to go with that. Because if you're, a lot of times people say they don't love it. That's just because you're in a rough patch, because everybody's going to go through that constantly. It's not like you love it and then you don't like it and then you just love it forever. You're going to love it, hate it, love it, hate it, love it, hate it. It's never ending. So it's important that you actually assess that and figure that out for yourself. Like, is it just because you're not loving it because maybe it's a struggle right now with marketing, or it's financially a struggle right now, or you are maybe bored with the product. Maybe it's time to come out with a new product. Like, what is the issue? And that's what is going to tell you if you need to keep it or to toss it. So, all right, guys, let me check this out. I think we're just about done. We're a little bit over. So good. I'm glad you guys got some notes. Tell your son that I said thank you. He's 7. What is the app you and Andy okay, so for the calendar app, it's just through Apple. It's the calendar app that comes on your iPhone. And then if you guys go in there, you can actually select to, you can go to the calendar, like if your calendar's up, this stupid thing, can't see it. At the bottom middle of it, it says calendars. You can click that. Then you can actually click at the bottom left to add a calendar. And then you can just create one. So like I have one with our media team that I use. I have one with Andy and I have one with just our 75 hard stuff. Like I have those for like when I have to share them with team members and stuff like that. So those are great to use, and it's something free. So good. I'm glad you guys liked it. And I'm glad you took notes. So if you guys have anything, questions after this, shoot me a DM. I'm going to go downstairs and make dinner. But then after that, I'll go through some DMs. And if you guys have questions, again, if you have anything that's like a little bit more in depth or something like that, that I can help you with, please send me an email. My email is on my Instagram bio. Like you see like the little bio stuff. And then like the first bar above the picture says email. You can click that and you can send me an email and ask me. That's usually the best way, because sometimes DMs can get lost. Because through a business thing, I have 4 different inboxes for DMs. It's like general, primary, requested, and then top requested. I have no idea how they classified like that. So I have 4 inboxes. So sometimes I can like miss DMs. I try not to, but so yeah, just let me know, guys. And yeah, that's it. So thank you so much. And I will talk to you guys later.